Hi guys, hi everyone.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
Sebastian, hi. You joining
And
from Sacramento.
Angie. Hello, hello.
Angie, oh my God. Sarah, great. So many familiar faces. All right, hi guys, and welcome to our webinar, and it will slay because today we're going to talk about Gen Z. It's the hottest topic in the wedding industry. If you haven't met, I think we've met, but if you haven't met,
Just
my
in
name
case.
is Alina.
Yeah.
This is Daria, and we are not Gen Z. We are millennials behind the powerhouse, behind WedVibes, and of course, we know how to connect with them. And today we will share our knowledge with you so you can also vibe with the audience that you want to attract. Before we will start, as a tradition, I will ask you to put in the chat your name, your location, and your profession, and if you're Gen Z or you're millennial or you're a boomer. Please assign
Maybe not,
yourself the
maybe
generation
the
you feel
next.
that you belong. So you can put that like by age, I'm millennial, by heart, I'm Gen Z, however you feel. And
Or maybe how do you feel in the soul if you're not sure, biologically wise?
exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure that in 1 hour you will walk away from this room with tons of insights and some twists that you can do on your socials to connect with the audience that now getting married. And let's start it because let's have a quick look on the statistics. As we know, you probably assume that. I don't know if you really thought about that much, but 60% of the current couples are Gen Z. So we'd better know what they like, what they understand, and how we can use it in our marketing and how we can use it into sharing our values. And let's start with the broader examples, because speaking of Gen Z, it's not only wedding industry, right? It is the values and how they live and what they love to see. So let's watch couple videos and try to guess.
Yes, like Alina said, the new generation means new approach. And yes, we're not Gen Z except Alex. Alex, wave. He's our marketing director, and I think most of you know him actually. Yeah, but we must adapt to this new generation and how they see the world. And let's try and do it together. Let's play this game. Let's decode and try to guess what did this brand sell? Actually, we're gonna do from the light exercise to the hardest one. The first one is, I think it's pretty easy, but just once again, look at the approach. I mean, I would call it cringe, but I mean, it definitely works. Like getting some matcha from the swamp, from the marsh. The next one is the baseball team, actually. Alexander, come back to sleep. I have an early meeting out of town. It's still dark outside. I know. Just need to write something down. Okay, so the name of this team, I don't know, maybe you're familiar with them, Savannah Bananas, actually, and they're not your average baseball team. They are very theatrical, they are very viral, and guys, I've been trying to purchase the tickets to their games, and they always sold out for the next year for sure, because it's all about entertainment. It's all about how they jump in on trends and trying and do this as entertaining as possible. Okay, the next one. Try to guess what does he sell. Oh no! Wait. No. Let's try it. Click on it carefully. Okay. Any guesses? I mean, we all know about the Hailey Bieber Road brand, right? And like how they actually created those phone cases for the lip gloss. And right now, like so many people, including this is actually the absorption company. They're actually selling the powder supplements. And what they try to do, they also try to put their powder, this like stick on the phone and try to sell it. Yeah. Like Alina is showing to you right now. And this one is one of the hardest. No. I think this one is the Alex's favorite one. If you are the fashion person based on these brands, you can probably guess what's happening here. But yes, it's a basically multi-brand of a luxury clothing. And you see what they do. They're actually trying to approach the new audience with like viral content. And today we're gonna once again try to dissect what they do, how they perceive the information, what's important for them, and what kind of insights can we actually gather from this and from our content in the wedding industry. Okay. Oh yeah, I see the Ian Sommerhelder getting some comments. Yes, he does has a bourbon company plus this absorption company. Yes, and he tries to appeal to the Gen Z generation really.
And yeah, and Michelle is Gen Z. So I looked real quick in the chat. We have a great balance of millennials, boomers, and Gen Z. So please, Gen Z, validate our insights if you agree or disagree with them.
Yes, let's make it a conversation. Absolutely. So, because we're all this also adapting, we also decided to play with our mission. And please don't laugh, but this is how we actually rewrote our mission in Gen Z slang. So WedVibes mission is big slay. It isn't just a platform, it's the matchmaker of your wildest dreams. Hello, Taylor Swift. We don't just play by the rules, we flip the script and remix weddings with art, fashion, and digital drip. Spotted the most fire talents in weddings, it's you guys. We put them on blast so they get booked and manifest their dream couples. Level up your wedding journey where the main character energy is mandatory. Okay, so Gen Z, how does it sound? Alex approved it. I'm just gonna mention this. Yes. Okay.
All right, so maybe we will inspire some of you to rewrite your about me on your website and on your socials. But again, we will share more examples. And the insight number one that we keep saying, but it's the most relevant insight, speaking of Gen Z, you are bigger than your portfolio. And we will break it down today. And I'm looking right at Steffi now, and I know that Steffi started her journey in like showing up more often. Hi, Steffi from Germany, and I know that it worked pretty well. So again, you're bigger than your portfolio. Write it down, and then you will understand what does it exactly mean. So how Gen Z and millennials behave, mostly Gen Z behave. We put together 5 biggest value changes, and how we can understand the values, how we can understand the values, leverage this knowledge into our content, into how we represent ourselves. The number one thing is that Gen Z root for real stories and real people. And let's watch this quick video, and I will explain what it is.
I don't know what's happening with me today. Okay, let's try. Okay.
I am sure that regardless of if you're a Gen Z, millennial, or baby boomer, you watched multiple videos, a bunch of videos like that. But this case exactly, it was like, it is known because the girl, her name is Jasmine, and she posted the TikTok about her dad who owns a Mexican restaurant, but no one goes there because it doesn't look nice. So she pretty much helped his family to recover and prevented it from going out of business. So the next day after she posted this video, it went viral, and the next day there was a line in the restaurant. The people wanted to go and support them, and now they already opened second location. So we see that just sharing this behind the scenes situation and again connecting on the values and the real stories, it can change dramatically the attitude and how things going in the business. And let's move on. And next slide. The idea that we keep saying, personality and passion, is as important as your experience and portfolio, because Gen Z, they buy stories, vibes, and people, and not just packages. They want to know who you are and not just what you offer. And I really love to play 3 videos from Jay and Mac, and that's a great example how they showcase their artistry, their talent, what they do as videographers, incorporating who they are and their values, and how they create these videos. Let's play them one by one.
Yeah, the first one is a popular trend, your thoughts while you work.
So I don't think we have to watch
Yeah,
like
we don't
that
have to watch
much
the whole thing, but you get the idea, like all the thoughts that are actually being spiraling from their heads. Yeah.
And it is relevant for every wedding professional, for makeup, for photographers, videographers. You can also, it's like a bit of editing, but again, you can describe your thoughts when you were doing in the process and how it turned out. Another one that I like it, if you like chilies and you love indie romance movies, welcome to Jane Mack Films, right? So they share a piece of their portfolio, but they connected to who they are and what they like. And the last one, POV, we are wedding videographer and we are here to say love is love. And I'm sure that you know even more examples, but again, it's a great representation of you're bigger than your portfolio and who you are, what you stand for, what you like, what you dislike is now playing the crucial role in terms of if Gen Z couples want to work with you, if they see you, or they don't understand who you are and why you should shoot their wedding. And another part, speaking of they don't want to be sold, it is incredible growth of educational content. They really like when you share your experience, if you share your advice and all DIY content about the wedding. It's incredibly like on the rise and they like to listen and to watch it, like how to plan weddings. And again, we're not gonna speak about the Gen Z is trying to do the weddings on the budget because it's also all kinds of tiers and all kinds of Gen Z values, meaning like how much they want to spend. But what they really appreciate when you share your expertise in a very friendly way, maybe not like in mentoring and educating, but really share from the perspective of I'm a wedding planner or I'm a wedding photographer and this is what I like. Again, from the personal perspective. And let's watch one video from the wedding photographer recommending the venues.
Okay. It's gonna be a glitch today.
These are some of my favorite wedding venues in Florida for couples who are planning a very sophisticated, black tie level evening affair event. As a wedding photographer, I've been lucky to work at some of the most beautiful locations across the state, so here are some of my favorite. First up is going to be the Flagler Museum located.
Once again, we're not gonna play the whole thing. You get the idea here. Yeah.
And we keep saying this like as a broken record. If you start sharing your favorite places, your ideas, it still looks like your expert tips and it sells your service better than your portfolio. And another quick video is like, what order should you book your vendors?
From a wedding planner.
The
Yeah.
planner gives an advice like when you should book your photographers, when you should book the cake artist, when you should book the logistics and the venue. And regardless, for example, this timing sounds like very long because now there's a big trend of the last minute booking. But regardless of how you believe, how many months you put there, you just share expertise and advice. And then the couple decide when they want to book it. So we can challenge the months and the periods, but the idea is pretty simple. You share your expertise, not like saying that hire me and I will do everything on time. Because selling your expertise in this way, it means that, okay, I don't want this hustle, but you know what you're doing, so I will book you.
Yeah, and just coming back to the examples what we just showed in the beginning, it's all about being entertaining. It's about sharing your values, sharing your personality, express them, and also do build the trust with them. This is what you can do by actually posting educational content because you are the experts, not them. They are know nothing about the wedding planning, the photography, or like any aspect of the celebration.
So pretty much explaining. Also, another big trend that I'm sure everyone aware, but again, we're gonna speak about how to hop on this. Gen Z couples, they even allocate this dedicated time to create TikTok videos because they love hop on the trend regardless if they're influencers or not. Because TikTok and content, it plays a huge part in their everyday life. Actually, for millennials, it's also relevant. But for us, it was a big change in our life. But Gen Z, they was born with a cell phone. They were born with social media. And now, of course, it's a natural part of the wedding journey to create content for most of them. And we put here several examples from Laura Ricci, the founder of Grit and Grace, with a simple idea that even if you're not Gen Z, but you also hop on the trend and you create something creative and bold, this is also how you connect. Because if you become TikTok native, even not Instagram, TikTok native in a more funny and bold way, this is how you can connect. Let's watch 3 videos that you know, and I will explain the trends if you don't know them.
I just don't think at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life.
Who recognized this quote?
It's White Lotus season
White
3,
Lotus,
right?
yeah.
So Laura just hopped on this trend. It actually speaks well with her personality and the way she carries herself. And it also, it worked pretty well. Another one is a video of the table decor with a comment that if I didn't create this design, what you will copy next season. So it's pretty bold, but it's funny. It worked. And the last one is like, you look happier. Yes, of course I created, because I created a beautiful design and I now feel
Killed it.
everything is right. Yeah. So again, the biggest takeaway from that, even if you're not Gen Z, still you can be boomer, you can be millennial, just be on the lookout of the trends that speaks well with your personality, what you like, and hop on them, and this is how the pretty much you will connect. And if you do editorials, if you do your style shoots to build portfolio, please make sure that it's not just picture perfect, but you incorporate authentic experience. There are some examples of WedVibes editorials. We always incorporate kids or dogs, or we
Friends.
started with older parents. You can see, Daria, can you point on the models who played as parents? Because
Yes,
because you can show the real story and real emotions. So of course, picture perfect still relevant, but more of a real, something that stands out, something that makes it memorable.
Okay, so let us know how the first insight sounds, and like, have you find something applicable for you? Do you agree with us, especially Gen Z, or like any other generation? Do you agree with our observations and our statistics? And yes, if you think it's helpful. And while we're waiting your comments in the chat, we are moving on to the insight number 2. Okay. Self-care as identity. Meet the most individualistic generation. So for Gen Z, caring for emotions is just as crucial as caring for the body. The mental health is equally important as physical health. They are cautious about the emotional state in a way previous generations never were. Like, studies shows that Gen Zs actually, they like 77% they will likely to seek therapy or self-help. They will engage in journaling, podcasts, or books. What does it mean for us? Part of what makes this generation unique is how they expect life to be tailored for them. Like, they are super egocentric, the spotlight is on them. Plus, they grew up literally, because millennials, we are the immigrants to the digital world, right? But they were born with it. And everything, the content, the ads, the experiences is pushed through the algorithms to adopt to their lifestyle, to their taste. And they don't just accept one size fits all. They accept customization. And even in shopping, we see it behavior every day. Once again, I'm going to throw some more statistics onto you. 80% say that they were even willing to share their data with all the companies in exchange for more personalized brand interactions. And then you understand that they need everything customized for them, and they need it quickly. Then you see that every message you deliver, every experience you deliver must honor that. This is how we can actually adapt to them. And this is how you can truly connect with this generation. And here are some of advices from our side. And we actually divided them into 3 actionable steps. Step number 1. Here, once again, I'm going to throw some more statistics to you. Immediate communications, because speed is equal for trust for Gen Z. 71% of couples say that when the creative, so vendor responsiveness is the most important factor than they booking. 53% choose their vendor that replies first. And 44% note that they didn't hear back from the vendors within 5 days. And we do understand life happens, work happens, and let's be honest, like whenever we like in the season, in the wedding season, it's really difficult to actually reply right away, reply customized. But still, what are our main insights here? The same day replies, meaning reply in 24 hours, gives you a huge competitive advantage. They don't want to wait around. They are quick, they're direct, they're transparent, and it's not even optional. It's expected. If you slow, they will bounce on someone who isn't. You should answer quick. You should answer their specific questions and be transparent. And step number 2, once again, transparency. And I will give you some more statistics, of course, because right now, what we find the most frustrating thing for them, that we actually, I think it's a common for everyone who's been in this industry for many years, that you built the sales funnel and you feel like you need to invite them for a phone call or a Zoom call to build this chemistry first, right? But today, what frustrates them a lot, and I'm also going to give you some statistics, 78% saying that the pricing is a #1 factor, then they actually want to consider this vendor to book them. 85% say that prioritize venues and vendors that show upfront pricing, at least starting ranges. So if they can understand if they can afford you, because they can find all the information on the webs, like on ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever, Google immediately. And with the wedding industry, we all know that like the how it operates, that most likely we hide our prices and we try to like basically lure them in through the experience, for once again, like I said, the chemistry test. So with your initial responses, if we're talking about the communication, your sales funnel, please share your prices, at least starting rates, so they will understand if they can afford you. It's also important on your social media that in transparency, you can see here the example from one photographer who actually posted a gallery and showed like what actually her 10K package will actually be delivered, like how it will be delivered to the clients, how many photos they will receive, how fast, is going to be the film included, etc., etc. So you be even as bold as her and post it on your social media. Or you can go with Emily product example here, and transparency here means they're not just buying this beautiful image, they're not just buying the final result, they're buying your energy, they buy how you work, they buy how you're in love with your clients, they love who you are as a creative. So Emily, for example, posts a lot of reels like this one.
100 degrees outside.
Okay, that's good to know.
I'm gonna mute Lavina. Yeah, I mean, so here, like all the things you all know, you see it, you experience it during every project you work in. But she actually showcases how like she's very intentional about all the details, how she will adjust the veil or like the hair or everything, and how she hypes up her clients and how clients are happy during this process. So they expect clarity from the first interaction, and once again, be open about your pricing, at least the starting point, and be quick. And speaking of customization, tailored packages, and we talk about this a lot. So first, the first thing we want to mention here, and here like actually example that we created. So it's not a real thing, but this is how we see you can communicate. First and foremost, you have to have, and I know most of you actually have them, but if you don't, please incorporate out of office responses. You can tell them that you're busy, or like your work, your office schedule is this and that, and no worries, your message is safe with me. So they will have like the first point of contact with you, that they will receive actually the confirmation that you got their message. I will return with the post-wedding love energy, ready to help design your dream day, when I'm gonna be back. If it's urgent, you can text me here. While I am away, you can feel free to browse my recent work. So you entertain them, you customize it, and you tell them when they can expect this answer. So it's all about transparency and being quick. What about customization? We talk a lot about the follow-ups. And we see that actually this is a number one, not a mistake, but a thing that we notice from even our clients, our members, that the follow-ups usually are more like, okay, have you thought about this? Have you, I'm trying to book this date, or like I already have clients that are interested. What are your thoughts about this? But you can do it more customized. And here we came up with, once again, an example. Oh, hey friends, I've been creating a new portfolio submission for example, WedVibes Media. And these sunset shots absolutely remind me of your vibe, because during our Zoom call, we discussed that your wedding is going to be at Malibu. He's also mood board from this celebration to give you a peek into how I prepare. So you already saying that you thought about them, you already letting them into your thought process. I'm still dreaming about your day celebration, I don't know, September 18th celebration, and I'd love nothing more than to make something magical together. Also, if you pick at my stories, there's a sweet testimonial from Jess and Mike. They're just as lovely as their words. So once again, you're showing that everything is all about them. You thought about this, and you are very intentional about working with them. You really want them to hire your services. Does it make sense? I will open a chat to read some of your comments.
There is a big discussion about the privacy. We will totally cover that at Q&A. I pretty much like to summarize a lot of trends. When we talk about wedding trends, it's very much connected to what Gen Z want, right? Because it's the biggest right now, the biggest segment, the biggest audience in the couples. And speaking of these customized proposals, speaking of follow-ups, when they are customized and personal, it just over again, we highlight that yes, they are very egocentric, and they don't want the automated replies that doesn't feel personal. So whatever we do, it should look personal. And even with the follow-up, you can pull out the mood board that you created for them, or you can refer to past project or the project you've been submitting to WedVibes or other media that also kind of made you think about their wedding and them. But this follow-up is only after you have a Zoom call or whatever call, so you know really some details about them and who you are. Of course, it's hard to follow up like that from the first inquiry when the Instagram profile can be even not public. So, because I believe that there is a big shift. What is the shift? Maybe 5 years ago, the customized scene was only for luxury segment. But now things are changing. Even for non-luxury segment, non-luxury clients, you still have to play with some kind of personal approach, personal touch, and customization. This is just how things work, and this is just how Gen Z want to be treated. So that is trend number 2 about individualistic generation, and I cannot say trend, the big value change and how we can leverage. Again, we highlighted some things. You can probably in your marketing strategy, in your communication, you can highlight some other things, knowing that it's very egocentric generation. Number 3, it is also the most mindful generation. Sustainability, inclusivity, authenticity. They won't break the rules. They want to do everything unconventional, and they know better how to live the life. Partially because, yes, they're younger, partially because, yes, a lot of things changed. Speaking of sustainability and environmental change and about the global warming, probably the easiest way to put it, why it's so important to Gen Z, because they're just younger and they understand that they will be the generation who will deal with this global catastrophic results. That's why they're really concerned about what's going on in the world and how we can deal with this environmental crisis. Another part, and we can watch the video about the vows, the inclusivity, because the society is diverse and everyone should be represented and seen in the world of Gen Z. Let's watch the video real quick, or at least the start.
My wedding ceremony was completely gender neutral, and here's a custom pronouncement that we had our officiant perform. Audra and Andrew, you have exchanged your vows and your rings in the presence of your family and friends. By the power vested in me by the state of New York, I pronounce you equal partners joined in marriage. From
Equal partners joined in marriage.
Yeah,
not
so we will
wife, yeah.
we will talk a little bit more. I'm sure that you're already aware of that. Just I don't know if you already start changing the vocabulary, but it feels that it's becoming more and more important, incorporating the new vocabulary into your scripts, into your communication, in the way
Oh, I'm gonna mute you, Tatiana. Yes.
in the way you communicate on the day of wedding. All right, speaking of the first one, the environmental shift. We summarized 4 biggest trends, how it affects the weddings and the planning the wedding. First, it's a big trend beyond flowers. It's more in decor, incorporating fruits, vegetables, and fabrics. And there is a very simple picture from Sea Ranch, one of the most expensive venues in Northern California, but you see the decor is pretty simple because it's not about the huge central piece, right? It's more about less is more and thoughtful design, which is line number 3, point number 3. Also, on the right picture, you see the example of vintage dresses, and they are growing because of 2 reasons. One is a style-wise, because again, it has some legacy, it's unique, it's something that is not like cookie cutter on the one hand. On the other hand, it's also sustainable, that you don't want a lot of couples don't want to buy the dress, wear it once in their life and just get rid of it or save it. So that's why it's also very thoughtful. And speaking of another trend about sustainability, more and more we see the locally grown flowers trend. And there are 2 reasons. First of all, because the generation is mindful, this is how they want to support local businesses. And another part is how they want to decrease the environmental damage when they do the logistic and the shipment of the flowers with like using the airfare or ships. So this is like 2 biggest, let's say, components that influence the decision of looking for local vendors and local flowers instead of just recreating Pinterest pictures that you want regardless of where you're doing the wedding. And we see it in the design more and more often. And speaking about inclusivity, we had several live sessions before, and one of them was with Kennedy Binam, Gaonai girl. She was talking already how she's a bridal stylist, and she was talking how she incorporates into her vocabulary and in the way she like talk and accompany clients during their store visits. And I don't want to talk that much about that. I'd rather first watch the video and then just summarize and probably listen to your comments if you already start changing your narrative.
First kind of started by removing bride forward language. Primarily, my contact form starts with name, partner's name. I do ask for pronouns. People have gotten a lot better about that. I used to get really funny answers. Like one time, this girl wrote in and said, "I am me." And I was like, okay, pop off, diva. Like, I love that for you. What are your pronouns? And then even on my contracts, I'll put client partner's name, and I try not to use like bridegroom language anymore. And even when I'm working with a couple that I know is not queer, I'm still going to ask, do you want to be referred to as bride and groom or just the couple? Like,
Yeah, once again, so this is a small teaser from the episode from the Vendors Table podcast, and you can listen to it, and they talk a lot about, but the number one thing is, how to change even bride and groom language and shift it to the couple mindset.
My question to you guys, have you shifted that or not yet? I'm just curious because I know that still there is a big, let's say, vocabulary habit saying bride and groom. But so that for majority of wedding professionals, it's a very thoughtful move if you change vocabulary intentionally. I'm just wondering if you already did that. Okay, I see. Yes. 6 yes, majority of times. All right, but that is probably the change number one.
Even never use bride and groom.
Yeah, use the partners or couple.
Okay, this is great. Great, I love it. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, so it's all about, yes, representation. Once again, about like if you're talking about the editorials, the style shoot, it's also like the big parts of that, even in your language and everything, that how you actually represent the different races, orientations, body types, because they want to be associated with your portfolio. They want to see that they actually their life represented in your on your website and social media. So that's
Exactly.
it here.
This is connected to also egocentric approach and tailoring everything. I know that's not easy because still we live in the world, everyone wants to see beautiful pictures. That's why there is like portfolio couples and style shoots. However, there is a certain trend and things are changing. And yeah, think about starting incorporating more real people who want to be seen.
Yeah, and we are moving to the next insight trend, my favorite, my personal favorite, romanticizing life or the Swiftification of weddings. Okay, who raise your hand if you know that Taylor Swift is engaged right now? Send me some. Yes, thank you, Alex. I can see you.
Who is Taylor Swift?
Yes, who is Taylor Swift? Yes, who is Taylor Swift? I don't know. Actually, guys, I'm a huge sucker for statistics, so I'm gonna tell you that in the United States, actually, 1 out of 2 people consider themselves fans of Taylor Swift. So it's more than 50%. Oh yes. Okay, so with her engagement, with everything what she does, and we cannot escape her influence to the global economics even. We see a cultural shift. Even on TikTok, we have 500 million views, signaling that Gen Z like posting all the content, all the trends in regards of romantizations of life. They reject negativity and instead they try to embrace beauty and meaning in everyday life. And Taylor's engagement isn't just a celebrity event, it's a peak expression of this movement. And her storytelling, the whole thing, her marketing strategy is actually what she does. She does exactly the same this thing. She transforms everyday moments, everyday life into cinematic memories. And she's giving this main character like energy in her soundtracks and everything what she does. And the recent report projects that her engagement, and we don't know how, like, for how long they're gonna plan their wedding. I will assume we're safe for another year, and it will bring us $2.2 billion in the wedding industry. That's what projected and backed up by several studies, including the note. Moreover, 37% of couples right now say that engagement announcement made them excited about their own wedding, that they're like in the same time, in the same era as Taylor Swift. So what that means for us, that they're gonna spend more money, they're gonna invite more guests, and they're gonna focus on this vintage, garden, romantic approach to the wedding. So, and we're gonna talk about how to incorporate this emotional, poetic storytelling into our content. And here are like several examples that we found for you. The first and foremost, it's I would say maybe once again we were talking about seeing your clients as main characters of the story, romanticizing their life, romanticizing all the moment. So here the glimpse of the backstage from the photographer. Oh, no. Okay. So it's a beautiful moment. The veil caught the light. I'm sorry. But what they done, they actually decided to create a whole storytelling about this and how beautiful is this and how beautiful is this for the client. Speaking about the main character energy. You can jump on trends, like so many songs right now, and it also gives a different meaning to the video or even to the photos. I'm sure you know this trend. You saw it so many times. Once again, showcasing to your couples that you are true professionals and you can actually transform, even if you're like designer, cake artist, photographer, videographer, you can transform their celebration into the movie. Oh, no. I don't know what's happening right now, but I cannot press play without it sending me to another slide. Okay, so once again, they could actually showcase the final result and it's beautiful, but they actually gone a little bit like to another length, and they decided to showcase the backstage and how they actually transform the moments into the beautiful movies. Or it could be as simple as the statements that your work is for the couples who sees their love as art. Okay, so once again, give us some feedback because I can only see Alina and Alex's faces. I would really want to hear your feedback or like post it in the chat. How does it sound? Do you feel this romanticization of life? Do you also feel excited about Taylor Swift engagement?
And the summer I turned
Jessica.
pretty.
The summer turned pretty content. Yes, yes, yes. This is all across all types of content right now. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Jessica, for chiming in.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jessica.
aesthetic.
Sometimes, yeah.
Thank you,
And
Jessica.
we are moving to the next insight.
Number 5, the shift. So first was they root for real stories. Second was individualistic or egocentric generation. Number 3 was mindful, and we covered authenticity, sustainability, and inclusivity. And number 4 is romanticization and Taylor Swift. The Summer I Turned Pretty, the show, if you haven't watched it, especially European part of our community, please at least read about it because it now has a great impact on the weddings on American couples for sure.
I'm gonna type it into the chat.
So yeah, romanticization is a big trend, and again, leveraging that in the social media, in the portfolio, in Instagram posts and reels also helps to connect. And number 5, also, I'm sure that you probably heard about each of them, and this is not the new one. Even as millennials, we also do the same. But speaking of Gen Z, it becoming more and more natural for them. Search on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest instead of Google. I don't know, guys, how things are going in Google. I think they're really trying to fix this gap because less and less people use Google for search and to like not about the weddings, just to search information, right? Even for you, I believe ChatGPT substituted Google. Speaking of weddings, it's again the information. Probably you already know that, but majority of couples, they 75% they start with Pinterest for inspiration. 57% use Instagram for vendor search. Almost 50%, already 50, rely on TikTok for planning, especially Gen Z. And we didn't want to cover this part, but yes, they really, especially the couples on the budget, they watch TikToks and try to recreate the experience, try to recreate the tips in their wedding to make it unconventional, fun, stylish, using these advices and inspirations from TikTok. So TikTok is playing a bigger, like the bigger and bigger role in weddings. Probably not upscale segment, but overall it's a huge change in the wedding industry, the way they search for the ideas and tips in the planning process. And 20% already use AI. So it's actually a huge number, knowing that AI just started growing, probably speaking of ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, whatever you use for your business, but mostly ChatGPT. And there are 3 screenshots of TikTok, Instagram, and ChatGPT. TikTok and Instagram, this is the number of search for wedding planning and wedding photography. You see, it's over 1 million posts for the search word wedding planning and 36 million for wedding photographer on Instagram. And also, not only couples are using ChatGPT for planning, like to create a seat chart, to plan some logistics. They do use it, but we now hear more and more that they even start using ChatGPT for vendor search. And we did this exercise. You can do it yourself and just, I don't know, give a prompt that I'm planning a wedding in Palm Springs and I want a photographer from, I don't know, Southern California. And you will see, we didn't put the screenshot here, but you will see that ChatGPT will give you names. Don't ask me how did they, like, ChatGPT generated this list of names, but it will give you the names to the wedding professionals and the link to, actually, I will ask you the question. What kind of links do you think ChatGPT incorporates when they recommend the vendor? Is it website, Instagram page, TikTok page, or something else? If you didn't understand my question. So if you ask ChatGPT, help me to find the vendors, it gives you the list of vendors with the links for their pages. And okay, I will just cut the confusion. It gives you the link to the Google reviews page. That was my biggest surprise. So I don't know if you guys have Google reviews, but probably those wedding professionals who has, they make it into ChatGPT shortlist. And if the couple using ChatGPT for looking for vendors, they will probably give a shot for first of the recommendations.
Yeah,
So
I just wanted to jump in because I can see some comments. Yes, ChatGPT can't read Instagram yet and TikTok, but to Alina's point, sometimes it's a Google reviews or the website. So it's a huge SEO tool right now.
yeah,
And
but from the test that we did, it's all Google reviews pages. That's fascinating. Maybe you can give a prompt that give me links to their website. Maybe you can also like educate it. But again, if like initially speaking of couples, this is what they get. That is fascinating. And we all know that it will just grow because we also live our personal life. Even we also use ChatGPT more and more often, right? Because it saves you time. So we'll see how way it goes. The easy insight and with the example from one of our favorite and beloved videographers, Roma Vera, be discoverable and fun. Create bold visual content for Instagram and TikTok, showcasing engaging stories. We can also just real quick start watching this video. Pretty unconventional for videography, for wedding videography. There is no sound, but you understand the vibe.
there's no sound, so I can
Yeah.
hear it. Oh, okay.
Of course, enjoy. So that's also pretty bold and fun. And even as example, again, there are a lot of creatives, a lot of great bios, but we put here the example because it's a great representation of this statement, be discoverable and fun. If you look at their bio, it's easy to find from SEO perspective, right? So Instagram algorithm will show their account if you look for wedding videographers, right? They didn't create some specific name for the profession. The profession is easy to find, but also when you look in the description, it's fun. There are no wedding movies on Netflix, so we are at your service. It's cool. It's very short and it's I mean it's understandable. And yeah, there are also some vanity things about top videographers on the web and WedVibes, but the first line we really love. It's really quick. And speaking of fun, undiscoverable, and unconventional things, I guess it's time to talk about unconventional hero shots. And we always, when we talk about portfolio curation, we also give some ideas and inspirations. In inspiration, how you can showcase this unconventional hero shot. And here we put several examples from Rachel Santos. And we see that even when we as WedVibes publish this kind of hero shots on our Instagram, it usually has a higher engagement or as high engagement as the classic ones. So we all understand what is money shot because not everyone probably doing photography or planning. Money shot is like exit from the aisle, right? From the ceremony. And that is the money shot, how other people call it. And
Yeah, usually it's a ceremony shot.
Yeah, the ceremony shot.
Yeah, but right now, like what we see, that's this unconventional hero shots. They actually bring much more like attention, and it's more. I would say it's more cinematic. Once again, speaking about back again, being vulnerable, being authentic, being romanticizing your life, It's more cinematic rather than stage, and they're like emotionally rich. Like, look at this photo with like the bride eating cherry from the cake, or they're less about perfect symmetry, and they're more about narrative. They're more about atmosphere. They're more about mood. So maybe it's like cinematic framing, walking away or towards something. Maybe it's a storytelling. Maybe it's a mood, texture, and atmosphere. But it's all about doing the thing, like breaking the rules, breaking the traditions right now, and having something unique and more about the couple themselves. And this is what attracts the media as well, us included.
All right, so the digital native generation, pretty much the number 5 trend. And one of the biggest takeaway, it's you are bigger than your portfolio. And we always try to encourage every wedding professional not only to showcase portfolio because it's still essential, but also again showcase your values, showcase behind the scenes, showcase the value you create, and also if it sounds like something speaks to you, hop on the trends because it's all about content. Daria?
It's all about content, and I'm not sure if you're gonna like it or not. But yes, one of the biggest, once again, takeaway is Gen Z, they are breaking wedding traditions. And for example, they ditching some traditions like bouquet toast or matching bridesmaid dresses. And they leaning into TikTok inspired moments and viral content formats. They plan for it. They actually save those videos for inspiration. And most importantly, they find, so in the timelines today, probably you can back me up here, but we saw that in the timelines, they have just specific time slots just for recording their TikTok videos like this one. I mean, it takes it takes a minute, but it takes a minute still, and you have to be prepared, and you have to save some inspiration. So our takeaway here is you even have to be the wedding content creator, or you have to hire them. You have to, the idea here is like we live in a content oriented world. If we will produce more raw, authentic content with us, with ourselves, with our couples, that will mean for them that the wedding is just a moment to capture. It's a story about them being real, being vulnerable. It's meant to be felt. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to actually experience this like real unpolished moments. So we live in a new era that the final result is not only the option that will help you win your client, but rather than showcasing once again your personality, your backstage, some moments with your couples, or some romantic, poetic moments as well.
So if you don't have time to create content, make sure that someone will do it for you. That's probably also a big takeaway. All right. As a tradition, we always give you a task because if you liked at least one insight, we want to make sure that you will incorporate it and plug it into your strategy and already see the changes. And you can test and learn, and you will better understand what to test next. And we put together 5 tasks. You're welcome to do at least one of them, but at least you will apply anything that you liked and anything that probably you've been thinking about, but today you have a reassurance that it makes sense doing that. If you still don't have a post or a reel about yourself, maybe unconventional one, but even conventional work, please do. Because again, they want to see the person. They want to see who is doing this makeup, cake, planning, photography, videography, even the DJ. Create one reel with your backstage video. Again, with this backstage video, you can show your value, how you work. It can be fun if you make jokes. It can be something how you help couples to pose, or one of the examples of Emily Prada, it was like how she was really taking care of the bride, fixing everything. I'm sure everyone has the same. I'm sure everyone does the same during the wedding day, but not everyone has the video of you doing this posted on Instagram. So just let's cover this gap between what you really do and what you showcase. That's probably the biggest gap for many of us, especially millennials and boomers, that we deliver a lot on the like during wedding day, during the preparation, but we have kind of, I don't know, not good understanding how to showcase it. So I believe we put together some examples how you can showcase how you work. So please make sure that you will create backstage video. Also, choose unconventional hero shot, again, regardless of your profession. Even makeup artists, who usually, of course, the most expected thing from makeup artists is the portfolio and like the close-ups, still unconventional hero shots can grab attention, can help you to stand out, and can help you to showcase the entire aesthetics and the mood that you love creating, the weddings you want to belong. Share your opinion in stories about something that's going on in weddings. The last trend about, again, Taylor Swift, it's a great, event, or it's a great topic to elaborate on and give you stakes of where it will take place, what kind of makeup she will be taking. You can connect Taylor Swift with your profession and share your opinion. Try in stories and see how it goes. And number 5, join Wow for Girls Congress. Please put in the chat if you have heard about this congress. This congress is organized by us, but by WedVibes, and we are doing it for 10 years anniversary of WedVibes. And instead of just posting some vanity posts, we decided to collaborate with Wow for Girls Charity Fund. They're fighting with child marriage, and we will be hosting 3-day online congress on November 10 to 12, and all ticket proceeds will go directly to WOW. For the transparency, even all the tickets, like the ticket link, is located on the WOW for Girls website. And the big idea and the mission of why we are doing that, because everyone who ended up in the wedding industry had the privilege of have education and make your choices in life, make your mistakes in life, make decisions in life. And these girls on the picture, and more of them, they don't have this privilege, and they pushed into early marriage just to survive. So what does Wow for Girls? They cover the funds for their education, and 1 year education is cost $181 for one girl. So that's why the ticket price is very symbolic. It's $181 to cover the one girl education, and we really want to help Wow for Girls to send money to 500 girls. So speaking of the challenge, you can join the Congress, and that would be awesome. If you're not sure yet about joining in the mission, you can, as a first step, join our childhood challenge, because it exactly speaks very good with the idea of showcasing who you are and connecting with couples. If you're old as me, probably your picture will look like this one, the first one, like Soviet style. But the idea that we started this challenge, and we have also speakers who will be joining our Congress. They also shared their pictures with us, like Daniela and Sharon, Alison Evans, Laura Ricci. They all shared, and we will be posting their pictures, their childhood pictures, with a fun description. For example, for me, the bow was big, the ambition was bigger, because I'm the one who's strategic. Alex was where others, when others saw a statue, he saw a content strategy, because he's marketing director. And Daria, she's the most creative person in our company in WedVibes, and she's leading this content part. So she floating through life, powered entirely by fun facts and wild ideas. This is exactly she. So you can join the trend, and I know that Angie and Sarah already joined that. Why are you laughing?
Because I can see the chat.
Okay, I can.
If
All
it's
right,
annoying,
so
something
please
like-
do it on your socials. You can even refer to WedVibes Challenge, but that's a great reason, to show who you are and how you looked as a kid.
Yeah,
It's
to
all
showcase your personality as a kid. Yeah. So we can actually compare it with your adult self. I can see there's a fight between the guys in the chat. But yes, it's time to ask us some questions. So it's a time for Q&A. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your camera, or you can actually send your comments in a chat, and we're gonna discuss them with you. We're gonna answer
So I
some
think,
questions.
yeah, I had the privilege to read the chat, and okay, Steph, you can start because there were a couple questions, we can address them. Steph, just go ahead, unmute yourself. Yeah, go
Hey.
ahead.
Thanks so much for doing this. Honestly, every time you guys do something, it is so spot on. Like, I mean, just thanks. This was great. So, question for you. What have you guys been finding on Instagram with the hashtagging? And I feel like that's really changing within Instagram and how important hashtags are, given I don't know that the head guy of Instagram, he has his account, and he was saying
Adam Masseri.
yes.
Yes.
He was just saying how hashtags are no longer like the most important thing for being found. So I would just love to hear your input just from you guys running your own business, and what are you guys seeing with hashtags?
Okay, so with the hashtags, actually, did you see his like recent live, or like I believe it was a recent post that they actually said that eliminating hashtag whatsoever. They don't anymore work as a SEO tool, and at this point, it's more like they're trying to read the text in the caption itself. It's instead of hashtags, so you saw the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then actually we've been experimenting with them on WedVibes, of course, and for us, honestly, they do not work as they were before. And plus, I wanna elaborate on this. Reels don't work as well as they used to before. The galleries with trending audio work so much better. And we recently had, I believe, 2 or 3 posts that gained 1 million views just because we changed this format. So here we go. Galleries plus audio, and maybe instead of hashtags, some meaningful caption mentioning the venue, maybe what else? The venue is important, maybe like the season is important, or like and collaborations with your vendors. You can invite 5 people to up to
Right. Just quick follow-up with that, the trending audio, are you finding it to be songs or some of like those audio clips?
In terms of the galleries, songs work better, and you can check. You can actually, honestly, I always use Perplexity or ChatGPT, asking like what's trending right now, or I honestly scroll through reels, and you can see the like the arrow pointing up, right, and like it will show you this like audio is trending. So for galleries, audio is better. For reels, those like lip syncing or like this moment from the movies and TV show, they work much better than the song itself. So hope it's helpful.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Do you have any other questions? Because I saw a couple questions in the chat, but because we're running behind of time, I will probably just press one of them. There was a question, do they even have money, Gen Z? So the idea that, yes, they're younger and they're like generation between 20 to 28. And in many cases, their wedding is financed by their parents. But the big thing that they will be growing and they will be like becoming the millennials. I mean, in the way that the age they will be becoming 30, 35 age. And if you are in the industry, in the profession for the long run, it still makes sense and makes more strategic to connect with them and know how to talk about them, because their values won't change. Their income will, but values not. So if you start making some communication changes in your strategy, in the way you represent yourself, in your marketing, you can like connect with them for the long run. And yes, there are a lot of now topics we cautiously, thoughtfully decided not to touch them, about certain shifts in the Gen Z weddings, that they like smaller weddings, they like more wedding on the budget. But again, it's more connected that they're younger, but they will be growing, right? Because millennials also were 20 years old sometime. But we more wanted to focus on the values and again, how you can adjust marketing, because this number of Gen Z getting married will grow, because now it's Generation Alpha. The people who are 14 years old are Generation Alpha, and probably in 5 years we will talk about Generation Alpha. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah.
I try to explain. All right. Yeah, really, they always have money. Yeah, and they have different priorities. It's also about fashion. The Gen Z weddings is all about changing outfits and fashion. All right.
Marketing is all about that. People will find money for whatever they really want to buy, and whenever they feel aligned with the values and they can associate, they will find money for all the things. So this is why this is important for us to adapt with our marketing strategy to this new generation. Because remember, at the beginning, it's going to be 60% of them in the worldwide wedding industry in 2026, 2027.
All right.
So,
Let's
yes.
wrap it up. Thanks everyone for
Yes.
joining. If you can scroll back to your task, please make sure that you will apply at least one insight next
it's-
72 hours, right? It's about me post, backstage video, unconventional hero shot, share your opinion about something, the Summer I Turned Pretty show, Taylor Swift, whatever is people talking right now, and join the Childhood Picture Wow for Girl challenge. And we will be sending out the recording. If you feel like you need to rewatch it, or if you feel like you need to see the examples that we shared with you, you're more than welcome. And yeah, have a great rest of your season, because most of the wedding destination now wrapping up the season. I hope that you will have a great time to recover and rewatch the video and shift the gears towards Gen Z couples, because your 2026, 2027, 2028 seasons will be more about Gen Z couples. And yeah, we let's release everyone. Thanks everyone. And if you have any questions, you always know how to find us.
Yes. Have a great rest of your day and night. Bye bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.